Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is Scootsy16 with another Outlaws video for the Chemlock Challenge, the Chemlock League here in Super Mega Baseball 4, and we are back with another video. We're starting off a little rocky. First three games, we're 1-2 right now. We have a -3 run differential. It has not been a great start, unfortunately. And if we take a look at our schedule, we won opening day against the Sewer Sneaks at their park, but we have yet to win one here at home as we lost against the Bone Chills, followed by a really tough loss against the Reapers. We now go back to back, a doubleheader against the Marauders, where we will be facing them in their stadium. I don't know where they play, but this is going to be a tough challenge for us because our bullpen has been depleted. If you recall, in game one on opening day, our ace starter, Rory Bowen, got blasted in the face, and he was not able to make it past the first inning, so our bullpen has been taxed trying to keep up as we did not get the workhorse out of Mohammed Holmes like we wanted to, and then Muttonhouse had an awful start. So we now head to our four-starter here, Maurice Matthews, and not a lot of confidence, not a lot of hope. And if I take a look at what's on the waiver wire, you'll see there really is nothing here for us to consider. We could potentially look at Vincente Moon, as we were talking about before. He would come in with an elite cut fastball, which is nice, but he's over his price right now at 0.8. And then Edgar Lang has durable. He's not really anything of note. He could still be better than Maurice Matthews. So taking a look at that option, it would be a big jump, 1.6 million. He's 0.2 million over his asking right now. But what that would, okay, and I guess that would not be a bad thing for our chemistry either. So he would have much better accuracy. He would lose some velocity, but just for that four-seam fastball. And then he would get a huge jump in junk, which is good because he has a curveball, slider, and a screwball. He just has the durable trait, which is pretty negligible for pitchers, as far as I understand. So, you know what? Even at the very least, this could be a nice rental for us. We're here to win as soon as possible, so I'm not really looking at developing. Plus, Maurice Matthews is never somebody we would expect to stay on this team. So I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet here. I think we have enough surplus that we can afford this anyways. So let's bring in Edgar Lane for this start. Maybe he can help us to last through this. And actually, just really quick, durable, reduced chance of injury during play, and slower fitness decay from being overplayed. So it doesn't have any effect on stamina that it states here. I guess this means if he gets hit, that it would be a lower chance that he would be injured. I don't know if that's how it works, but let's go ahead and do it. We're going to replace Maurice Matthews, who was the last end of our draft pick, and we'll bring in Edgar Lang instead, and he's going to get the start today for the Outlaws, as we will jump ahead to our game where we'll play against our division rival here in the Water Division, the Marauders, who are also 1-2. They have their number 4 starter coming up, Cash Duffy, who has an elite slider, which is at tier 2. And we actually have the advantage here in this pitching matchup. Maybe you could toss it over to Cash, but at the very least, it's an even matchup. Let's take a look at our lineup before we get started. They're putting Glass Snyder in the DH spot. Oh, and fun fact, I did take a look at our original Outlaws team before the shuffle draft, and Glass Snyder, as well as Alfredo Levine, our center fielder that's on the bench right now, were two of the original players on this team. So that was fun to see that we ended up bringing them back to the team. All right, so we're going to put Jerry Love in the DH spot. That's just always going to be where he goes. Glass is currently 10th, but if we put him at 3rd, does that make sense? No. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to have Pavla Kirk stay at shortstop. She's going to get her first start of the season, and then we are going to put Fernanda Branch at her original position of 3rd base. and we're going to let Glass Snyder take the day off today. So we'll bring in Musty Donovan. Actually, you know what? Alfredo's been playing really well. I'm going to let him get the start here in center or in left field for us. And that's where I think this lineup is looking pretty solid. So what do we do here? We're going to do, I want to give another chance for Dalton Bebshishin. I'm already getting comments about how terrible I am at pronouncing that. We're going to get Bebshishin in here at center field leading off. He's got the great contact and speed. I want to put Jerry Love in the 2 spot as we have been doing. We'll let Rock Quintana get the 3 spot because he has been more consistent. And I'll actually follow this by Giovanni Mays. He has not done much offensively, but I am going to... Actually, you know what? I want to give Braden Scarelli the 2 spot here as he has been one of our more consistent hitters, and he earns the jump. He's also got good speed here, so between him and Bebshishin, we should see some good running on the base paths. Quintana in the 3 spot, Jerry Love in the DH at 4, followed by, we'll put Justice Colon at 5, Giovanni Mays at 6, Alfredo Levine plays left. Actually, this is kind of, with the current production, our team is much more deep than I actually expected. I'm all over the place here, so give me just a second here. All right, so I'm going to bring Fernanda Branch up a little bit more. She has been producing really well. She'll play behind Giovanni Mays' 5 spot, Branch in 6. Colon's going to drop down to the 7th spot in the order. Maybe she just needs a little bit of a reset. She is going to continue to start as she is our captain. Pavla Kirk gets her first start of the year in the 8th spot at shortstop, and then we have Alfredo Levine playing left field today, his secondary position. He has been hitting really well. And Edgar Lang, who we just signed, is going to get the start. We'll see how he does. We are going to go with our standard away jersey here against the Marauders, and let's get in there. Let's see how it goes. They play at Whacker's Wheel, and if you've been following any of the Windy City Thunderbolts, which is currently on hiatus, you'll recognize this stadium because this was our home park for the Windy City Thunderbolts. So we are familiar here, but we'll see how this ends up playing out for the Outlaws. I've been getting some feedback on some home run calls. Again, continue to share with me any ideas that you have related to the Outlaws. But we'll see if we get any opportunities to showcase any of these, but we'll see how it goes. I'll try a few different ones, and we'll workshop it together. All of this is kind of as good as it can get. Hey, Bebshishin gets a leadoff hit down the left field line. Acevedo is able to get to it very quickly, and that is going to be a leadoff hit for Bebshishin. Not something we've seen much from him in the beginning of the year here so far. Braden Scarelli had a huge game last time out. We'll see if he can keep that going. And he sends that one right through the body of the pitcher, and that gets into center field, and that's a base hit. So back-to-back hits puts us at first and second with no outs, and Rock Quintana. Pressure's already starting to get high here in this game, and Rock Quintana is locked in. He gets the off-speed pitch, but it is going to land right in the glove of the third baseman. So tough luck for Quintana there. He did get the off-speed pitch that he was looking for, but he seemed to be out on his front foot, and so now here comes Jerry Love. He's looking for that fastball. That's the only pitch that he has. And that was an off-speed pitch, and it gets blooped into center, and it gets right into the glove of Skylar Rocket. Nice play from the center fielder as he makes a shoestring catch for out number 2. So, unfortunately, our producers there in the 3 and 4 spots are not able to get it done. And now that puts us with Giovanni Mays, the catcher, looking to see if he can do something. He's only batting .200 on the year, so he has been struggling. I wanted to give him another chance here, and he gets that one through the hole into the right field, and it's not far or deep enough to let the runner score from third. So they are holding them the runner up. Nice hit from Giovanni Mays. Bases are loaded with 2 outs, and here comes Fernanda Branch, who has been a surprise producer for this team. We drafted her late in the shuffle draft, but she has been finding herself on the field every game this year so far. 3-1 count, so she's worked herself into a good position, and she fights that one off. Full count, runners will be going. And she pops it up in the infield. The pitcher comes off the mound a little bit. Duffy catches that, so he gets himself out of a very tough jam. But I like the way our offense started there with 3 hits in the top of the first. We really wish we could have gotten some runners getting around the bases there. And oh my goodness, the Marauders are also a disciplined team as they have maxed out high pitch and base rounder. This is a guy I would have really liked to have had on our team, Skylar Rocket. He hits that ball to center field. Bev Shishin is saying, you know what, you're good. I got you. And that's out number 1. Here comes Musty Acevedo, the left fielder. He's tense already. He bats switch, but he does have contact versus righties activated here. And again, this is our first chance of seeing Edgar Lang, who has been on the free agent pool. He was working at a grocery store, and the Outlaws general manager called him up, said, "Hey, you want to play today? We're not happy with the production from our pitching staff so far." And he was like, "Well, heck yeah, I want to do whatever I can." So he's getting a shot here. He gets the second out on a ground out to first, and here comes Dipper Bellotto. What a name that is. He is currently locked in. He does have Butterfingers, but it's tier 1, and it does not activate while he's batting. Very good hitter here, so we have to be very careful. And you can see that crazy screwball. And that ball is going to get through the middle there and into center field, so it is a hit with 2 outs here for Bellotto. It's such a weird name. And here comes Havoc Sandman, the DH today. Oh my God, what a scary batter. He's got RBI Hero and Ace Exterminator. Thankfully, neither are activated. We'll have to be very careful in the future. Ball 1 outside. Runner on first, has good speed. Ball 2 just inside, just misses the plate. The runner goes. Giovanni Mays tosses it down, and not in time. Quintana slaps the tag, but they say he got under it. And RBI Hero did activate, but then he hit that one off the end of the bat, and Scarelli comes in, calls off Cologne, and that's out number 3. So even though they did steal a base, which was very strategic to get that RBI Hero activated, it does not do anything. And we get out of the inning, only allowing the 1 hit. So nice start for Lang, and here comes Justice Cologne, who has been abysmal for us. We're hoping that she can figure things out, and she gets that one down up the middle, and nice diving play from the second baseman, but couldn't make a clean play, and luckily Cologne has got enough speed that she was able to reach on the infield single. I believe that will count as a single. She does have base rounder maxed out, so we should see her flying around the bases if that ball gets down. And Pavla Kirk, with her first at-bat of the season so far, comes up. Contact versus lefty is not activated. She takes strike 1. Cologne's still tense over there, by the way. And then that ball's going to get lofted into center field. Easy play for Rocket there. He calls everyone off, tosses it in quickly, and that's out number 1. So Kirk does not get anything happening there in her first at-bat of the season. Looking to see if she can do something else going forward. And here comes Alfredo Levine, 500 on the year, hey, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. The surprise offense from him, a guy who we signed just because of his defense. And Cologne takes off, stealing second base, and she gets the mojo boost. She's back to neutral, and she's stealing third, and they got a hit and run, and she comes around the bases real fast. Acevedo does not have the arm to try and compete there, and what a play from the Outlaws as we manufacture a run there. We got the hit from Alfredo Levine. He gets a mojo boost, and that ball hit hard by Babshishin, but it's going to pull foul down the left field line. Just missed that one, just ahead. Duffy is tense now, 1-1 count with 1 out. Great speed over at first base. They pitch out and nothing doing. That ball taken strike 1 at the bottom, or strike 2 at the bottom of the zone, and pops that one foul, just misses that. And that ball hit hard into left field. It's going to get down. Acevedo gets it in quickly to third, and we have great speed on the base paths here with 1 out. Runners on first and second, and we have Braden Scarelli coming up. 1 for 1. He's having a great start of the year. Cash Duffy trying to figure out if he can get out of another jam here in the top of the second. Gets strike 1 called. Ball 1 inside, just misses. And chases that one, but pulls it foul. Tough out does activate. That one gets popped foul, excuse me, and pulls it, and it goes straight to the third baseman, and that's an easy double play, 5-4-3 around the horn for the Marauders. But we do score one. Finally, Cologne gets herself on base. She makes things happen with a stolen base, and then flies around around third base on a single to left field by Alfredo Levine on the hit and run, and we find ourselves with a lead. So now we want to add to that lead, and we want to hold their offense, which is very formidable based on what we've seen so far. They just haven't been able to put it together. And he chases strike three. That ball was way out of the zone, but he couldn't help himself. And that's going to be out number one. Here comes Chirp Wallace, the second baseman. Not having a good start to the year, batting 167. Takes strike one on the slider. Gets contact there, but it's going to line out easily to Levine over there in left field. Geronimo Bamber comes up. These names on this Marauders team are wild. He pulls one foul there on outside pitch that he tried to make contact with, and he takes strike two. He's down 0-2 with 2 outs. Fights that one off to stay alive. And swings through strike three, and Edgar Lang, he is having himself a game so far through 2 innings. We'll see how long he can keep it up, but the longer he does, the more that bullpen can relax and sigh relief a little bit there, because they have been used so much in these first 3 games. It would be really nice to give them a little bit of a break. So Duffy is back to neutral after getting that huge double play, but nice hit from Rock Quintana, sending it back up the middle for a base hit to lead off the top of the third. And Duffy has not been able to get himself in a position where he can have a clean inning as at this point yet. Jerry Love with fastball hitter activated here, looking to do some damage. He could not get it done with runners in scoring position last time, and you'll see there was either a hit and run there. They were trying to steal. Rock Quintana doesn't have great speed, and that ball is going to get past the sliding right fielder, Theodoris. BB Theodoris has a great arm, but Rock Quintana read that one well, and it got down, and that allowed the runner to advance to third. So Quintana at third, you'll see Jerry Love over at first base, and now here comes Giovanni Mays, who did get a hit his last time up. Not enough to score a run. Strike one there, 1-1, no outs. And he gets that one lofted into center field. He was way out in front of it, but he was able to kind of try to slow himself down enough to get that one into center field for the base hit. And Rock Quintana scores easily from first. So it is now 2-0 with runners on first and second and no outs. And that's going to be it for Cash Duffy. Here comes Elias Stubbs, who comes in to try and neutralize the damage. She has been great so far. Her whip is 1.00, has yet to allow an earned run. She gets a pop foul out of play for strike 2 on Fernanda Branch. She has K Collector at tier 2 that gets activated here. She also has an elite slider. The curveball drops out of the zone. And ball 2 taken low just underneath. Good eye from Branch, but she strikes out there. She has been finding herself to be a strikeout queen. Unfortunately, when she's not hitting the ball, she's been playing great defense, so we'll keep her in regardless. But Justice Cologne has neutral mojo now. She also has Ace Exterminator activated against Elias Stubbs. So we'll see what she can do as K Collector activates. So this is when we need her to be productive. And she swings through another one. Mojo back down to tense as she strikes out again in a nice situation where we could have seen her build on the momentum of her last at-bat. She strikes out. 2 strikeouts here for Elias Stubbs. K Collector really showing its value here with 2 outs and 2 runners on. And that dribbler to second base. Wallace gets it quickly. It tosses it over to Burr at first for out number 3. So she comes in and stops the rally. Not much of her trait, but she is a great pitcher, even though she does not have great accuracy. And with 2 leadoff singles, we ended up getting a run scoring there from Rock Quintana. So we ended up getting another run, up 2-0 now in the bottom of the third. And there's a base hit for the Marauders. Getting it in quickly is Babshishin. And That's a mojo drop for Edgar Lang. I believe he was at locked in, so he's back down to neutral. That is correct. And he has tier 3 bad jumps over there at first base, so I doubt he's going to be moving, even though he has good speed. But here comes the dribbler to third. Branch gets Cannonard activated over there, but Quintana cannot get it over to first in time. Great play from Branch over there at third to get the lead runner at second base. And so 1 out, and they trade places on the fielder's choice. And so okay speed over there at first, but now here comes Skylar Rocket, the leadoff man, and the captain of this team, I have to assume, the center fielder. And he pops it up right in front of the plate. We see Giovanni Mays coming in. We saw Lang just kind of jog right past him there as the ball was coming down. I was worried that was going to distract him. But the runner has to stay at first on the pop-up, and now 2 outs for Musty Acevedo, who's still tense. And Edgar Lang is back to locked in. And that dribbler to short. Kirk tosses a long one over to third or to first, and Cologne gets that for out number 3. So another great outing for Edgar Lang in the third, and he's moving himself through this game pretty quickly. Here comes Alfredo Levine, RBI single his last time up, with a runner on second base on the hit and run, and he has been producing very well for this team, more than any of us could have expected, batting .600, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Takes ball 1 inside, 2-2 count here, and K Collector activates and hits that ball into left center field. It's going to get all the way to the wall, and great speed from Levine. He's going to be able to get that into an easy double, and Rocket gets it in quickly, but we see a leadoff double and more production from Alfredo Levine. And this guy was a surprise for us, but we are taking every bit of his production while we have it. And we're at about half stamina for Elia Dubs as Babshishin comes up with no outs and a runner in scoring position at second. Great speed over there at 2. That ball loses a little bit of accuracy there as it flies out of her hand and hits hard into into center field, but it's going to hang up for Rocket, who's got great speed, and the runner has to stay at second. So great hit from Babshishin, but unfortunately it's going to be a tough out there. 1 out. Scarelli comes up. 1 for 2 today. He's been batting .500 all year. And dribbles that one to shortstop. Bellato, wild throw, but nice scoop from Burr to get the out there. And the runner advances to third on that ground out. But we find ourselves with 2 outs here. Off-speed hitter activated for Rock Quintana. He takes that one. The ball gets away, and they're going to try and... bad read from Levine as they were able to get it quickly. He's stuck in a pickle here, and that's going to end this inning. So Levine loses his mojo. Rock Quintana didn't get a chance to drive him in, and we're still only up 2-0. We've gotten 10 hits, but we have not been able to get them to score, unfortunately. So we go into the bottom of the 4th. This is still a close game. Lang comes up against Dipper Bellato. Swings through strike 1. Bellato is locked in right now. Strike 2. And that ball gets hit to Kirk. Tosses it over the diamond to Cologne for out number 1. Nice play from the shortstop. She was drafted to be our primary shortstop, but after we saw that cannon arm from Branch, we opted to kind of let her start at short most of these games. Nice to know we still have Glass Snyder sitting on the bench as a pinch hit option. 3-1 count here to Sandman, and he pushes that one foul. So now full count. He's tense, and he swings through strike 3. Nice pitch from Lang as he gets him to chase the ball almost in the dirt there. And now Yannick Burr comes up. He has good contact, but not much else. And he makes good contact there, hits that ball hard, and that's going to get out of here as it stays up just above the yellow line, and it gets out right into the first row. 381 for Yannick Burr, and boy, did I shoot myself in the foot with that one. He mauled that one. And that's a home run for the Marauders, and it's now 2-1. Lang goes back down to neutral. And we're going to see what he can do here as he's getting at about half stamina or just past half stamina. But he's pitching really well with 2 outs here. 2-1 count to Wallace. And that's another hit. So back-to-back hits. The home run, then the single. We might be getting to the end of Lang's day. We don't want him to stay out there for too long. As Geronimo Bamber comes up. And they do opt to pull Lang for Chris Lopside, who's locked in. He has practically a full bar of stamina and another stolen base from the Marauders and a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Nice throw from Mays, but his arm is not as good as everything else that he has in his toolkit. 3-1 count here. And Lopside induces the pop-up to shallow right field. Sgrelli comes in, but Rock Quintana says, nope, this one's mine, and he calls him off, catching that for out number 2. And speaking of Quintana, out number 3, he'll come up here in the top of the 5th. He had a chance to drive in a runner at third base, but unfortunately, Levine misread that ball that got past the catcher, and he ended the inning. So Quintana still going up against Elias Stubbs, who gets K Collector activated right out of the gate with the first 2 pitches, and he fights off that pitch there. She's getting tired. Ball in the dirt for ball 1. Ball way outside. 2-2. And Quintana makes enough contact, but another one lined right to the fielder as that one goes to Burr at first base for out number 1. So bad luck for Quintana today. He did get a nice hit, but he has not been able to produce effectively. And here comes Autumn Riley. She does have a good repertoire, but wow, nice hit from Jerry Love as that ball's going to get all the way to right field or right center field to the wall, but Rocket way too fast, way too good, and that's going to be a nice single for Jerry Love. Now, one thing you'll notice about the pitcher for Autumn Riley is that she has tier 2 surrounded. So if a runner gets on, and that was a hit and run, if a runner gets on, 2 runners get on, then surrounded activates, and that's going to be a drop to all of her. But it does not matter as Giovanni Mays gets it out of here. And that one hits the line, gets into the first row of the stands. First home run of the year for Giovanni Mays, and that's a 2-run shot to make it 4-1 for the Outlaws. And I'll be your Huckleberry as that ball got out quickly. It did not get very high, but went out in a hurry. Nice hit from Giovanni Mays, and we have ourselves a bit of a cushion here in the top of the 5th. Fernanda Branch now up 1-1, and she hits that ball hard. That ball is wanted dead or alive, but you're never going to find it as it gets out of here, and you'll never see that one again. That is the second home run, back-to-back shots for the Outlaws, and it's 5-1. Fernanda Branch with the pop in the bat. And it's 5-1. Outlaws are starting to run away with this one. Let me know what you think about these really, really funny home run calls. I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll see how you feel about it. Autumn Riley is tense. She gets the chance to go up against our worst hitter in Justice Cologne, who's tense, 2-2. And she pulls that one foul, 1 out still. She fights that one off foul. And she fights another one off, so she's staying alive here, still 2-2. And she hits that one off the end of the bat, lofts it into center field, and here's Rocket to catch that for out number 2. So not much of a threat from Justice Cologne, but that's all right. I guess the rest of our team will just have to do all the work for the Outlaws. Pavla Kirk, 0 for 2 in her debut. Autumn Riley, we do not want to get her settled back in. She's still tense right now. 1-2 count with 2 outs. Kirk fights that one off. It goes flying into the dugout. Look out. Chases strike 3. Herd Mojo drops down to tense. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. 6 outs left to work with for the Marauders, starting with BB Theodoris, who's 1 for 1 with a single. And Lopside stays out there. He's still locked in. And he throws that elite curveball to start things off, fouls it off for strike 1, and then takes strike 2. And gets some chasing there, or way ahead of it at least, And that's a nice strikeout from Crisp Lopside. Crisp and clean for that first out. And here comes Brecken Hatmore. Power versus righties activated at tier 2. Strike 1. Does not have much contact here. Strike 2 in the same spot. And swings through strike 3, pulls the string on the changeup. And that's another crisp and clean strikeout for Crisp Lopside. And Skylar Rocket comes up. Still has high pitch activated. He has yet to get a hit in 4 games now in this season to get started. But it can come at any time, and it might be right there, as I do love to jinx us. And that was out of here right off the bat. And Skylar Rocket gets his first hit on a home run, a solo shot. Fortunately, right now that doesn't mean too much, but Crisp Lopside did make a mistake, and he made him pay for it, as Rocket puts that one out for the second run of the game for the Marauders. And here he comes. He's no longer locked in against Acevedo. Acevedo still tense. Contact versus righties offsetting that a little bit, but also reverse splits activates here for Lopside. And that ball hit hard but high, and it looks like it's going to hang up in center field. Does not get much carry here in the dome. Babshishin catches that for out number 3. A run does come across to score on the huge home run. First hit of the season for Skylar Rocket, and it's a big one. But they're still down 3, 5-2 here in the top of the 6th. Autumn Riley is going to stay out there right now. She's still tense. Levine grounds out to Burr over there at first base, and that's out number 1. We wrap around to the top of the order here. Babshishin comes up 2 for 3 with 2 singles. So after a tough start to the season, we sat him last game when he was tense, and he has come back with a vengeance. He has been producing really well for us. He is a great outfielder there in center field. He's been showing it. 2-2 count here with 1 out. Autumn Riley throws that one low for ball 3, and with a full count, he fights that one off. Pops another one foul, so staying alive here and really working the count. And that ball lines to Bellato, but it does hit the dirt first, and so he has to throw it over to first, getting out number 2. Braden Scarelli comes up 1 for 3 today. Not as productive as the last game was. Cade Fleshman now comes in for Riley. And he immediately serves that one up to Scarelli, and that ball is out of here. And that is, let me get another one here. Let me see. God would forgive you for that pitch, but the Outlaws won't, as that ball gets out in a hurry. And Scarelli, with his first home run of the season, just workshopping some more of these. Let me know what you think. I've got a list of them written down, working off of. See what you think about that. It's a 6-2 ball game with 2 outs. Nice home run from Scarelli. That ball hit hard from Quintana. Is that going to get out of here? That ball is gone. Rock Quintana. I'll be your Huckleberry. That ball is out of here. 368, Rock Quintana's 3rd home run of the season. Unfortunately, all 3 have been solo shots. But in this game, it's just cushioning the lead for us, as we are now up 7-2. I love the outpour of offense here in the late innings. And Jerry Love comes up, a chance to go back-to-back-to-back. We'll see what he does here as he takes strike 1. And he gets the off-speed pitch. He lofts it into left field. Easy catch for Acevedo for out number 3. But back-to-back shots from Scarelli and Rock Quintana to make this a 7-2 ball game, and we have to go through the 3, 4, 5 hitters to close out this game. And will we keep in Lopside? It looks like we will. He's at half stamina. Starting off against Dipper Bellato. Swings through strike 2. He's still locked in here. 0-2 count. And he pulls that one foul just ahead of it. Ricochets in the stands over there. And chases that one, but just manages to get his bat on it. Takes ball 1 low and outside. Tried to get him to chase again, and he didn't bite. And there it is. Strike 3. Crisp and clean for Crisp Lopside. Strike 3 on the elite curveball that dropped right into the zone. Havoc Sandman comes up, still tense today. Has yet to get his momentum going as he takes strike 1. Takes strike two on that ball. It almost dropped out of the zone, and he had to swing at that one. Defensive swing, pops it up, and Babshishin comes all the way in to shallow center field, catching that easily for out number two. And Yannick Burr, who did hit a home run his last time up, comes up with reverse splits activated here. It's only tier one. Takes strike one. Swings at that one. Pavlik Kirk gets it over to first, and Cologne catches that for out number three. Your Outlaws win Game 4 of the season against the Marauders. We defeat our divisional foe. This game is in the books, 7-2. 15 hits for the Outlaws, only 5 hits and 2 runs for the Marauders. So our offense really showed up here today. We saw home runs from Scarelli, from Quintana. We saw a 2-run shot from Giovanni Mays. We saw the back-to-back shots from Mays and Branch, and then Scarelli and Quintana here today. Super fun one to watch. And Giovanni Mays got himself into a rhythm. He went 3 for 3 today, leading the team in hits as well as RBIs. So nice to see that from this team offensively. We did see a really tough day from Pavlik Kirk in her first start of the season. And we'll also notice that Fernanda Branch has been a bit inconsistent. Cologne did get 1 hit, but it was a dribbler to second base that she ended up stretching out into a single. She has still not figured things out, and she just continues to find herself falling in the lineup with the rest of the production happening on this team. Looking at the Marauders, we saw the first hit of the season for Skylar Rocket, and it was a home run, but too little too late. We also saw a nice home run from Yannick Burr, almost in the same spot for him. I believe that was his first home run of the season as well. But not much else for this team, as a couple of other hits, but nothing going, as we saw Edgar Lang get a great start from him. 3 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run on the home run, and 3 strikeouts. I think there's a weird system in place where the starting pitcher won't get credit for the win in a 6-inning game unless they go a certain distance in the game. I don't know. 3 2/3, he should have earned that victory, but instead it goes to Chris Blopside, who goes 2 1/3, 1 hit, 1 earned run. It was a home run, and 3 strikeouts. Going over to the other side, Duffy did not have a great start. 2 innings pitched, but he gave up 9 hits and 2 earned runs. Stubbs ended up coming in and pitched really well. 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, and 2 strikeouts. Then we saw Riley come in and get beat up, followed by Fleshman. And so the Marauders couldn't get anything going pitching-wise. And so we see Giovanni Mays with the number 1 spot, Rock Quintana number 2, and Braden Scarelli number 3 for the Outlaws. Great recovery from the 2-game skid we saw. After winning on opening day, we lost 2 consecutive, and then we find ourselves in this situation. So taking a look at this manager moment, I'm going to give the boost to Dalton Babshishin. We're going to get the drop from Muhammad Holmes. I believe Holmes is older. He's 39. Babshishin is 23. So, yeah, we're wanting to keep him. I don't think Holmes is going to be a long stay on this team anyways. So we'll take his loyalty. And then Ford Richardson or Edgar Lang as to who's going to get the loyalty drop. I think, oh, man, this isn't fair. Ford Richardson is 32. Edgar Lang is 24. You know what? After his performance, I think Edgar Lang is going to get this one. I don't know if this is the right call. We'll see if we can boost his mojo later. But Edgar came in off the streets and ended up pitching a really great performance against a division rival. So he earned that one. And then who gets the mojo boost here? Or I mean the loyalty boost. I'm going to give this one to Rock Quintana, just because not only is he producing well, but he's also low on loyalty. So we want to get that boosted back up. He's up to 78 now. I hate manager moments, but I have to put up with it. Let's go ahead and see what else happened during this, after this game. Huge drop in arm for Musty Donovan, so that's unfortunate. Rory Bowen gets himself the stimulated trait, which is tier 1, so it's like a 5% chance to kick in, and he has to stay in all the way through the through the 4th inning, I believe. So we'll see if that helps him. It's nice to have if it gives him like a second wind if he's going long in a game, but I mean, kind of a useless trait. plus 10 fielding for Babshishin, so he continues to get better. Emmeline Merritt, who is yet to see an appearance in this season, loses 1 speed, which doesn't matter. We see Rory Bowen with a chance to gain composed, which is great. We see a chance to gain consistent for Holmes, which is fine, and then a chance for Maddox to gain Metalhead. So all 3 of these are purple traits, which are maxed out. That's something we really want to see on our team. So let's see, where do we go from here? I will tell you, with Workhorse, if Muhammad Holmes can get a good start, consistent will make it a 50% slower chance of his mojo changing. So if he gets locked in, he will be stuck at locked in for a long time. And then if he eventually gets to on fire, this could make him very, very good. So I could see that being beneficial. Chance for Ford Richardson to gain volatile. Again, I don't know if these are good ideas for us to spend money on. Last time I said I was going to save it, but I don't know if I should be. Giovanni Mays with a chance to gain more contact. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? You know what? I am going to do this one for Bowen. He's 21. He's our ace. We really do need to make him better. Composed will get a boost with a 3-ball count, plus 50 accuracy. It will drive him through the roof. So let's do this one for Bowen for sure. Loses 1 junk. Does not get that plus 3 accuracy. Does he get composed at a 25% chance? Nope. That's unfortunate. But he keeps getting a little bit better in accuracy. Giovanni Mays. I don't know. Ford Richardson. Muhammad Holmes. Jacoby Maddox. What do we do here? I'll do this one for Ford. We'll see if he gets the volatile trade. He's 32, but gets him into locked in really quick, which doesn't get there. Gets a loyalty boost, which is fine with me. That kind of offsets the manager moment. And then let's see. What is your loyalty? 63? Muhammad Holmes is at 31. We're okay with that. We see Jacoby Maddox is at 74. You know what? I'm going to go crazy. We'll see if this pays off or if it ends up being a bad thing. Oh, he gets a plus 8 contact, and he does not get improved to all outfield positions, which I'm okay with, but he gets a huge loyalty boost there. And then this one for Jacoby Maddox, I think I do want to do this one. Metalhead isn't that significant to me, but I guess actually we want our bullpen to last as long as possible. So if he does get hit, we need him to recover quickly, and this will help with that. Does not get the plus 5 velocity, and he does not get Metalhead. So gets a loyalty boost. He's still an A-. He's got some more velocity, which is good for that 4-seam and 2-seam. And then Muhammad Holmes, do we do it? We've been burning through all of our money. 2 velocity. Chance for consistent. Screw it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens. No for the extra velocity, and no for the consistent trait. So now we know we're not really going to develop him, so it's a chance for us to look to find somebody else. But our biggest priority is looking to find someone to replace Mutton House. He was not a great solution there. As one of our pitchers. Edgar Lang, he earned every right to stay in this rotation. Muhammad Holmes did not really do that. We see it would be a huge increase for Vincent Moon in accuracy and in velocity. He loses a lot of junk, however, and he has that elite cut fastball instead of the elite slider for Mutton House. So we have some time. We don't have Mutton House pitching for a little while. I'm still happy I made that call to bring in Edgar Lang. That was a good call there. And then let's see, Emmy Williamson. Not a bad decision to bring her in, as she'd have high pitch. She'd be a left fielder, so an extra player in the outfield. It would give us a primary outfielder, but I still think Musty Donovan is a better player to have on the team, just for the ability to play different positions, where she would come in just as a better hitter. I don't know if that's a good idea. It's not a bad idea, but I'll think about it. She's currently +6, so we still have some time to drop her cost. And then let's see, Besto Durham would have maxed out Wild Thrower. No, I'm not going to look at bringing him in. Brittany Robles, no thanks. And then everybody else, nothing else here really stands out to me. So that's where we'll leave off today. The team is playing well. We're currently 2-2. We're a game and a half back of the Maulers. We have dropped the Marauders down to last in the division. We have a +2 run differential. And we will be playing the Marauders once again in the next outing. So we have to face them again at Whacker's Wheel. We'll see how that ends up playing out. But thank you so much for watching. Again, continue to share your feedback. What did you think of those home run calls? I tried a few different ones as we have seen a lot of power from this team to get started. Taking a quick look at the team stats, we see 3 home runs from Rock, 2 from Fernanda, 2 from Levine, 2 from Musty Donovan, and then another home run from Mays, from Love, from Scarelli. So we're seeing power from these offenses, which is really from this offense, which is really nice. Now we just got to figure out a way to get our pitching staff sorted out. And again, next goal is how do we replace Mutton House? We'll figure that out next time out. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks for following along. I hope you're enjoying this series. Again, it's going to play more of a role as we continue to move forward, but love any and all feedback from all of you, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.